Hi, I'm Greg Brewer. I work solely within the Santa Rita Hills appellation in Santa Barbara County. I'm affiliated with 3 wineries, one of which is Diatom, the other is Brewer Clifton, the third is Melville, all of which are devoted specifically to Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. And for me, what's paramount is to demonstrate our appellation and the sites with which I work in the most sincere and honest and deliberate manner possible. Very much inspired by a Japanese aesthetic of transparency and purity and raw and reverence for nature and raw materials. And in that spirit, I only employ neutral oak in our production for all the wineries. In the case of Diatom, it's strictly stainless steel and fermented very cold. It's the most strict and kind of severe approach to Chardonnay in the appellation. And then with Brewer Clifton and Melville, neutral oak, no stirring of the lees, very, very minimal intervention on my part, with the goal of showing place in vintage in the most honest way possible. Specifically, with whites, malolactic fermentation is generally inhibited because malic acid is inherent in the grape, and I feel is more appropriate than lactic, which is the byproduct of something that happens inside of a building. In the case of Pinot Noir, we ferment most of the Pinot Noir at Brewer Clifton as whole clusters. That's always the intent. At Melville, it's generally about a third whole cluster, meaning the fruit is fermented in its entirety as a cluster, much akin to cooking a protein in contact with its skeleton, a whole fish or a lamb shank, for example. So the wine is substantiated, the architecture of the wine is substantiated from within the cluster by virtue of the stems, as opposed to using tannin from oak from a foreign country, which has always seems like something of an imposition to me and kind of contradictory to someone who's trying to deliver place as clearly as possible. And that's our general approach.